One thing that's very important to know that a lot of people are not admitting to unless you actually make a strong point right to their face. To get them to realize, to get them to have an epiphany in order to get your actual message across. A very painful truth. Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I went to the doctor today, early in the morning, and another one last week for different reasons. And he was really concerned about he was really concerned about my health. And I've been struggling with trying to lose weight and trying to improve my health and stuff like that. My diabetes has gotten better from those supplements that I've been telling you about. So I don't take metformin, or I don't take insulin, and I don't take metformin that often. Insulin I never took, but tablets I took, pills. I don't take them that often because I've been drinking more water, and I cut down on soda big time. And it's barely been 2 weeks. Just barely. I actually drank soda yesterday. A small can, and I didn't even finish it, when I was eating some Mexican food at a restaurant. And I was drinking more water than soda. Even though I enjoyed it, but I guess that urge to drink it wasn't there anymore. Because I've gotten so used to water drinking, which is good. The reason for this video that I wanted to talk about is that, I know that people can talk shit about, YouTube trolls talking shit about you, about whatever the subject, and criticize you and stuff like that. One guy was even making a threat on one particular one. I don't know which video it was, but something on the gang history, and which involved one of the street gangs that I knew of in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And he wasn't making much sense, and because he was telling me something I already know. So I pretty much blocked him and stuff like that. But the main thing that bothered me the most, I mean, it really shouldn't bother me, but lately I've been trying to speak to certain females, and a lot of them, even though I approached them and I was friendly, and even at certain whether it's a shopping mall or whether it's somewhere at a park or whether it's at a local sports bar or whatever the case may be, in which there's decent people there and stuff like that. It seems like the more effort I try to even just talk to them, the more they're judging me from the way I look. And they're saying something like that I'm a weirdo, that I'm creepy looking, or I'm giving bad vibes, that I'm some sort of like psycho or something like that. And I noticed that happening for the past 20 years, every now and then. And that always happens with girls that I like. And I wasn't overweight all my life. I was a nerdy kid when I was a teenager. And it was always the same thing. They always felt uncomfortable. Like I was about to do something to them, or like a stalker or whatever the case may be. And there's one caregiver that I used to have was being honest with me. She's the one that helped me out with setting up my YouTube channel, getting me started on it, which I'm very grateful for it. And she said a lot of women are saying that they feel uncomfortable around you, and I told them I didn't do anything to them, and they're like, all I did was talk to them, and they said they don't like the way I look at them. I'm going like this. I'm just like, okay, I'm looking, and yeah, some of these girls that are pretty. I do admit that I am attracted to them, but I haven't said anything sleazy or done anything to them. And then she told me, you do know why they're like that, right? And I'm like, no. What's the reason why? And she said, because of the way you look. It doesn't matter how kind of a person. You could be the most, I mean, I never felt uncomfortable around you because I always saw your inner beauty, or whatever. And you never made me feel uncomfortable. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working for you. And she was only with me for a couple of months because they switched her to another client. So I ended up getting somebody else. So I got somebody else now, and she's pretty cool. But she said that the main reason why is because of the way you look. And you have those, she said, not to be mean, but you have those spooky eyes. So when you look at somebody, and even though I'm just like listening to them, or just as they're talking, I'm just looking at them like this. A few of them would be like, why are you looking at me that way? Like what? How am I looking at you? And she said, I don't like the way you're looking at me. I mean, what the fuck? I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't looking at you anyway. I'm just listening to you talk. And it happened also one time when I was at a Comic-Con festival. Well, it was inside this building over in the downtown area. There was a Comic-Con, and I was there, and it was great. I loved it. And I was talking to this one very beautiful girl. She was in her early 20s. And she kind of reminded me of the character Sam from iCarly, Jeanette McCurdy. And except she was a little bit chunky, but her face looked a lot like her. So she ran, and I told her, after buying a few things, because she had some pretty cool stuff on there that I actually bought. And then after a good 10-minute conversation, I just made a compliment saying that that she kind of looks like Jeanette McCurdy. And I laughed, and I says, I'm sorry, but you do. She laughed also, but then after a while, she made that face like, or that face expression, can you please go away? And then right away, so I did leave after that. I'm like, what did I do? I'm not insulting her. I'm not trying to come on to her. I couldn't get it. And then I went back over there. I wanted to ask her why she felt uncomfortable, but then I was contemplating, and there was something else I wanted to buy, and that caught my attention. So I bought it from her table, from her stand, and she had this one big dude right next to her, sitting next to her. And she had that worry, like, please protect me if he does something. I felt offended, extremely offended. But I just bought what I needed to buy, and I said, okay, thank you. And I was talking to her just like I did the first 10 minutes. But I didn't bother to waste time because the guy that she was with, I don't know if it was her boyfriend or a friend of hers, but it was a big guy. He was kind of like waiting for me to do something stupid so he could have an excuse to kick my ass or something like that. It pains me very much for people to make a judgment like that without even really fucking knowing me. And there was a couple of real mean YouTubers who said something like that about me. I deleted them. I just got rid of them. Another YouTuber told me I shouldn't have done that. That I should have just replied or said some shit back, or I don't know. But one YouTuber who subscribed to me told me, look, man, don't take this the wrong way, but people are always going to discriminate against fat people. Not fat people in general, but fat people that have a certain look to their appearance. A certain look to their appearance, the way they are. And you have those, he said again, just like what my old caregiver said, you have those eyes that if you look at someone, whatever, you have like the eyes of a psycho or some kind of crazy person or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then someone went as far as to, hang on for a second. Sorry. People went as far as to even insult me, and on a couple of my videos, and it didn't have anything to do with the subject matter. I thought maybe they were talking shit to me because they disagreed about what I was saying on the video. But it was nothing about that. Saying that I'm fat and ugly, don't do any more videos or whatever, you look like this. And then they're constantly criticizing about my eyes. So one guy and there's also a few females who were doing the same thing. I just started talking shit back. But most of them don't have a way. I had no way to reply to them. This is the ones when they drop a comment, but there's no way you could actually say anything to them because they don't have any videos of their own. And of course it shows up on Gmail, but there was no way for me to reply to them. No way whatsoever. So they just dropped these mean comments. But this one person had had the heart to say that, look, man, people are always going to discriminate against fat people that they believe are unattractive. Not fat people in general, just certain ones that look a certain way. And we live in a very fucked up world. I mean, that old saying about don't judge a book by its cover, it's all bullshit. Most people don't practice what's really preached out there about ethics. You shouldn't be shallow, that people shouldn't be stuck up or superficial, and to make mean comments about you. And I mean, that I agree with. I mean, you are what you look, regardless of if you really are that type of person or not. If you have a look of a loser, like a serious Delta or Omega, a person who never accomplished a fucking thing in his life, and if he has that look, you're going to be treated that way. And not every person is like that. Just like every person who's goofy looking and wears glasses, and some superficial girl didn't like him because of the way he looked. You thought he was a loser, when in reality he was really a very humble person, very smart, and destined to be successful in the future. And eventually he did. And not to let things like that bother you. I can understand that, but I've been through so much of that shit throughout my life. And even when I was about to start my YouTube channel, I was very self-conscious about the way I looked. I'm like, who in the fuck is gonna pay attention to some ugly looking fat guy? But look at me now. I mean, I got over 400 subscribers. I made over 750 videos. I got very good comments from most people, and a lot of likes. So that makes me feel better. It's just that it bothers me like crazy. Not so much about the YouTube trolls. The YouTube trolls are that's something separate. What bothers me is how I try my very best to talk to girls, to talk to women. And I'm not gonna lie to you, most of the women, I'm 49 years old, and most of the women that I like are in their 20s, early to mid 20s and whatever. And even if I never get a chance to actually date them or go out with them, okay, fine. I mean, even being friends with them or stuff like that is good enough for me. But they always have this, please go away, you're creeping me out. And they have this, like, please don't get close to me. Please don't touch me, you're creeping me out. And I haven't even done anything to them. All I did was have a conversation with them, and then they want nothing to do with me. That hurts so fucking bad. I mean, at least have the guts to say, why do you think I'm that way? I haven't done anything to you. That's the thing that I cannot fucking understand. I don't know what you can make of this. I don't know if you have any answers. I mean, if you do have any very logical, down-to-earth answers, and I think I got the truth from two people already. Someone saying, because I got those scary looking eyes, and they feel creeped out about it. And one YouTuber that subscribed said this, told me that people are still fucking shallow on people that are overweight. They're never gonna get the respect that they want. He says, don't worry about these assholes. They're just gonna talk shit. And this one YouTuber actually made me feel better in a sense. But he told me he was completely honest about what he was saying. People are always going to be discriminated because of the way they look. Don't buy into that beauty is skin deep bullshit. Don't judge a book by its cover bullshit, because most people don't practice what's actually preached. The level of people that are so superficial is tremendous. That is fucking sickening. I could understand if a guy is a creep, a big time creep. Yeah, but if I haven't even said anything to you that was inappropriate or done anything to you that was inappropriate, don't discriminate. Don't discriminate against me like that. I mean, there's no need for that. But I'm already convinced that we live in a world in which you are what you look. And because of that, you won't get respect. You can get into trouble. You can get beat up or arrested or I don't know, any number of stupid fucking things that could happen. All because of the way someone looks. And I am sick and tired of this fucking bullshit. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments, you know what to do. And this is Dare to Speak. And to all of you, take care.